I'm going to be giving you a full guide to improving your mental health and living a better life. Mental health can get rid of depression, anxiety, and can improve your well-being of your life in general, and can also help you to be more successful, productive, and basically it's the most important thing that you can fix and have improved in your entire life. I used to live a very unhealthy and very unproductive, unmotivated, horrible lifestyle. I'm talking waking up at 8, going to bed at 12, eating non-stop junk food, constantly playing video games and consuming a bunch of content that was just destroying my attention span and my mental health. I had anger issues, I was addicted to tons of really bad things, and overall it made me feel terrible, and I do not want anyone to experience this, and if you experience this, this is why I'm making this video, to help you out, to help you to improve your mental health and your quality of life. So, after I realised that my mental health was messed up completely, I decided to start doing a bunch of things like meditation and gratitude journaling and exercise and all of this other stuff. And within 2 weeks, I managed to turn my mental health around completely. Earlier this year, I also had a ton of medical problems which sent me into a deep, deep, deep depression. I already knew from my past experiences with depression and poor mental health exactly how to fix it, and literally within a week, it was fixed. So going from literally the worst period of my life to the best period of my life within a week, and that's just knowing how to improve your mental health and fixing it. It's all mental health. Mental health is the key to living a good life. Let's get into it. So, the first thing you need to understand is what instant gratification and delayed gratification are. Now, instant gratification is something that will make you feel happy now. Most of these are really bad things like alcohol, drugs, you know, video games, non-stop binge-watching movies, junk food. All of this gives you a short release of dopamine, which is the feel-good feeling, and it makes you feel good now, but then later it makes you feel worse. So you basically have a baseline of your happiness. It's like your happiness level. So let's say this is 100. Now, when you consume instant gratification or do an instant gratification activity, like alcohol or drugs, it'll go up by possibly like 20 or 40 points, so now it's 140, and then later it'll drop back down by a ton and you'll be at like 80 points. But now this is your new base level. Now you're at 80. Now you do it again, you go up to 100, you come down to 60. Now you do it again, you go up to 80, you go down to 40. And you can see that it continuously goes down and down and down, and it makes you feel worse in the long term. If you continue doing this, you get into a deep depression, and it's just spirals into a way worse thing the further you go along with it. So most people, when they were children, would feel extremely happy. This is why most adults will say, wow, kids are so happy, I wish I could be like them. They think that it's something that only kids have. It's not. That's because their base happiness could be like at 1,000 compared to your 100. Because you've consumed so much instant gratification throughout your whole life, because everything's designed to be addictive and to make you happy and feel comfortable, it's actually brought your happiness down by a ton, to the point where you don't even remember being at that level. It is insane. On the other hand, delayed gratification is something that you do now that might make you feel not that good, might make you feel a little bit bad, like maybe exercise, for an example. When you're working out, you feel, it's stressful, it's strenuous, it's hard work. You don't feel too good while doing it, but then later you feel amazing because your health is better, you feel stronger, you feel tougher, you're happy that you got through something you actually didn't kind of like doing. I mean, most people will enjoy working out, but even if you don't, it still increases your overall happiness and puts that bar. So like it goes to 100, you work out, it goes down to 80, and then later it goes up to 120. You continue doing this, and it'll go up and up and up. And if you continue doing it for long enough, you'll eventually get back to that 1,000 happiness level, which all kids are at, where you literally feel like a child all over again. This is what people say. So, what is some of the most common instant gratification things? Instant gratification can range anywhere from the far end of like the worst of the worst, like drugs, to the most lowest end with something like a movie. So a movie can be instant gratification. Even if you're watching maybe like an educational video on YouTube, that's still instant gratification, and it still makes you feel worse in the long term. But if you're learning something, then it becomes useful. Short form content gives you a release of dopamine. Long term content will give you a release of dopamine as well. So if you watch a 2 hour long video, you'll get a release of dopamine. If you're learning and not just consuming rubbish, like if you watched a 2 hour video of Mr. Beast, okay, it would give you a release of dopamine. But what else did you get out of it? Nothing. So the only reason you watched it was for the release of dopamine, the instant gratification. If you were to watch a video that taught you how to run a business or whatever your goals are, it helped you to achieve that, like an educational video, and you watched it for 2 hours, you would then have watched it and learnt something as well as got a boost of dopamine, which encourages you to kind of do it again. If you're watching 30-second clips, getting a big release of dopamine from something like TikTok, then you can easily get addicted to it because it gives you a release of dopamine. Now, the reason a dopamine is so addictive is because the way that we used to get it used to be like back in like caveman times. We used to hunt, gather, get the food, and bringing it back was like an achievement, and that achievement gave us a release of dopamine. Your body needs dopamine. It gave you a release of dopamine, which made you go, yes, I've achieved something. So then you'd head out and you'd achieve something the next day, and the next day, and you'd set bigger goals, and bigger goals, and bigger goals. But now, everything gives you dopamine. Literally everything can give you dopamine. If you go and pick up a book and read it, that'll give you dopamine. If you go and watch a video on YouTube, that'll give you dopamine. You go and eat, even most foods nowadays give you dopamine. Even like vegetables will give you dopamine. When you eat chips, for example, that gives you a massive release of dopamine, which is why it tastes so good, it's why it feels so good, because you're getting dopamine. They took all of the dopamine out of the chip and you ate it, it would just be like worse than broccoli or something like that. It wouldn't taste that good because of the dopamine in it. Tricks your brain into thinking that it feels good, which is how food companies, video game companies, TV companies, and all of these other companies have hijacked your brain and manipulated it to make you addicted to what they sell to make them more money. So what you want to do is you want to take the instant gratification out of your life, remove most of it. You want to remove all the short form content because that's some of the worst dopamine that you can get because it's very easy to get it. Like if you watch a 2 hour long video, it's harder to get that than a 30-second clip from TikTok to get the same amount of dopamine. You get like 100 dopamine from, YouTube, 2 hour long video, and 100 dopamine from a 30-second TikTok clip. This one's going to be more addictive than the other one. So cut out all the short form content like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and I'll get in on how to do this a little bit later. Get rid of, like tons of movies that are pointless watching. Get rid of alcohol, get rid of drugs, get rid of junk food, start eating healthier. And by removing instant gratification from your life and replacing it with delayed gratification, like watching a long form video or, because I think long-term videos are more of a delayed gratification because it's more delayed than a short form video, like a 30-second clip. But it's still instant gratification to some degree. But it's a lot better to watch that. So watch long-form content that's educational. That's what you want to replace most of your things with. Because if you're trying to replace these instant gratification things, you struggle with doing them at first. And I'll cover on how you can not struggle on removing these instant gratification activities. But basically, instant gratification is bad for you. Delayed gratification is good for you. And lots of things are instant gratification, and people are manipulating your brain to make you want to consume their content. To destroy addictions to instant gratification, because most of these addictions that people have are instant gratification. Smoking, drugs, alcohol, junk food, the big four ones that you can think of. People are addicted to these because it gives them a release of dopamine, a big release of dopamine for a small task. Like the exact same amount of dopamine could be like building a whole ship, for example, and they can just, take 2 cigarettes and they get the same amount. So the way that you want to remove these addictions, and a very easy way to remove most of your addictions, is 1, try and slowly remove them out of your lifestyle. If you instantly try to go from like eating 20 packets of chips per day every single day for your whole life and then try to just cut them all out, you're going to struggle immensely compared to if you slowly cut them out. So you can do that, and to help you along that path, also you've got to understand that what is the thing that you do. If you were to cut out all chips and junk food and stuff, what would you do? Well, you'd have nothing to do, wouldn't you? Most people have nothing to do. I'll give you a better example actually, because the chip one doesn't really make any sense. When I was trying to get rid of my YouTube Shorts addiction, because I was hooked on YouTube Shorts constantly, I just stopped. I thought, I'll just stop, it's not that hard. I've done it with junk food, it was super easy, I'll do it with this. I stopped, very disciplined, just stopped. And guess what happened? I didn't have anything to do. I was bored. And because I was bored, I looked around and thought, I'm still craving this dopamine, but I can't seem to get it anyway. So what do? I go right back to what I did before. It's basically like, this is how much dopamine I'm so used to having. I've got to work out how to get this amount of dopamine. But because this is the only thing that I know how to do to get this, I go straight back to it. So you need to change how, this is a YouTuber that I watch, he's called Hamza. He says to change your basic attack. And basically what he means by that is to replace your instant gratification with a more delayed gratification approach. So if you are constantly watching YouTube Shorts, so stop watching YouTube Shorts completely. The moment you want to watch YouTube Shorts, or you feel like you need to watch something, or you're bored and have nothing to do not sit there. Because being bored is the #1 reason why people return back to their addictions. It's one of the most worst things. Whenever I'm bored, the first thing I want to do is do something that just wastes time, gives me a boost of dopamine. Instant gratification. So replace it with something else, like reading a book. So what I did to get rid of this YouTube Shorts addiction was I stopped watching YouTube Shorts, and whenever I felt bored, I would grab a book and I would read it. Okay? Now sometimes you'll slip up, sometimes you'll make mistakes, that's fine. But set goals to slowly remove it out of your life. Of course go all in, Of course just completely stop and then swap over to this. But if you make a mistake, let's say 2 days in to your thing, to your run, then if you make a mistake 2 days in, you're trying to stop YouTube Shorts, trying to stop watching YouTube Shorts. 2 days in, you go back to watching them again. You're like, okay, yeah, I understand that I've made a mistake. Try again and try to go for longer. Go for 3 days, then 4 days, then 5 days. This is the easiest approach for people who really struggle with addictions. But if you can, what I would recommend is try the first approach. And if you can't do this one, then go the most easiest one, the best one. Try to just completely cut it out, because sometimes this works. Completely cut it out of your life. Replace it with something else, because then this will take up that spot. If you dedicate 2 hours to eating junk food per day, or you have 2 hours of eating junk food per day, and you replace it with reading a book, or you replace it with eating healthy, then you have 2 hours of a good activity that you're doing per day. Big difference. Another thing to keep in mind is while you're slowly trying to remove this addiction, you'll every 2 days you'll fail, so then the 3rd day is what you're aiming for. You hit the 3rd day, then you fail on the 4th day, 5th day, 6th day. Slowly it'll get up to a year. This is the slow way of doing it. If you're going to do it that way, or even if you're going to do it the other way, just both ways in general, keep in mind not to think about the addiction, you having the problem, unless it's necessary. If you're about to go back and watch YouTube Shorts, think, I'm about to watch YouTube Shorts, I'm about to go right back to where I was before, I'm about to go back to my addiction, grab something, delayed gratification, a book, watch a 2 hour long YouTube video, replace it with like you doing an activity or something, going for a run, going for a walk, turning your phone off and going for a walk is a very good option. Replace it with a delayed gratification activity and then don't think about it. Because by thinking about it constantly all day, don't watch YouTube Shorts, don't watch YouTube Shorts, don't watch Shorts, don't watch Shorts, all day, you are constantly going to be thinking about it, which means it'll be a lot harder to break that addiction. So they're the 3 steps that I've taken personally to be able to break addictions. The first one is to not think about it unless it's necessary, and if I make a mistake, to not really don't let it affect you in a big way. Don't go, oh, I failed again. Go, okay, I failed. What can I do better? Learn. You've got to learn from your mistakes. The second thing is to the second thing is to try and replace it with a delayed gratification activity. So if you're watching YouTube Shorts, you would replace that with reading a book or watching a long-form educational content on YouTube, because that's extremely good. Because if you're watching an educational thing on YouTube, like make sure it's in line with your goals. If you're watching an educational thing on YouTube, okay, that's in line with your goals. If you want to be a mechanic, watch a 2 hour long educational thing about mechanic work. If you're watching that, it's a lot better than watching pointless rubbish on YouTube, doing drugs or alcohol. It's just common sense. Or would I rather read a book on something that's going to help me in life, or would I rather drink alcohol? Common sense. So replace your instant gratification activities with delayed gratification activities. And the third thing is try and completely cut it out if you can. I mean, of course you want to completely cut it out. You don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to take it the slow way, which means on day 2, I'm deliberately going to go out of my way to do this instant gratification activity because I'm allowed to. No, your whole idea is that you don't want to do it. You're trying to cut it out. So, cut it out completely, and if you fail, put it like 1 day forward. If you fail on day 2, put it 3 days forward. You don't even need to keep track if you don't really want to. Just try and replace. Just those 2 first steps are really the most important. I don't know why I'm going on a rant about the last one, but the 2 first steps are the most important. Those are the ones that will help you. Don't think about it unless it's necessary, and don't get too hung up on the fact that you might have failed and gone back to the addiction. And also to replace your instant gratification activity with a delayed gratification activity. Now, if you are struggling with like serious addictions to like drugs and alcohol, because those are obviously a lot worse than other things, then I would highly recommend that you go to like a counselor or someone else that is professional in this area to help you out, or go and watch more of Hamza's videos on YouTube about how to break addictions. He has like a full guide on how to break an addiction. It's definitely worth watching. He'll explain it so much better than I can, but I'm just giving you a brief coverage of what I use mainly to get rid of my addictions. You can, sorry, fifth thing. The next thing you can do to improve your mental health is to do meditation, because meditation, specifically mindfulness meditation, that's the one I'm talking about, it's the best one, allows you to be more mindful, more present, more grateful, allows you to be more focused, allows you to have more humility, allows you to see things clearly. It just improves your mental health overall and puts you in a much happier state after you do it. Now, I already made a full video on how to do meditation, but I'm going to cover it again in this video. So, to do meditation, all you need to do is very simple. Download an app called Medito. It's Medito. This app is great when it comes to meditation. Go and follow through all of their little courses. They'll guide you through the meditations from beginning to end, and then after that, do a daily mindfulness meditation that's on their app. It's very simple. They'll guide you through, but it'll give you a quick understanding of what the mindfulness meditation is about. Mindfulness meditation is not about humming or sitting down, thinking about something. It's not about visualizing an ocean. It's not very hard, it's pretty simple. You focus on one thing, most of the time it's the breath. Focus on your breath. You'll get distracted at some point. Your thought will go all the way up here and you'll be thinking about something. You realize you're distracted. You become mindful that you've been distracted. And you return to the breath. That's as simple as it is. You do that over and over and over, and every single time you do it, it's like one rep for your brain. It's like lifting up a weight every single time for your brain. This is how you strengthen your mind, and this is how you can greatly improve your mental health. Personally, this is one of the most important, if not the most important thing that you can do to improve your mental health at all. That and getting rid of addictions to instant gratification, they are the two most important things you can do to improve your mental health. Literally, after doing these two things for 2 weeks, my mental health was greatly changed. I was so much happier. I felt the happiest I've ever felt in my entire life. And I didn't even think I had poor mental health. I thought, oh, I'm fine, it's perfectly fine, it's not that bad. Any of my addictions, they're not addictions, I just choose to do them and create all these excuses. If you're creating any sort of excuse, or you're even considering that you have poor mental health, or you're not doing any of these activities that I'm listing, then you have bad mental health and you need to improve it. Next thing is gratitude journaling. Gratitude journaling is pretty simple actually. All you have to do is really just get a piece of paper in the morning and at night and write down, I am grateful for, and then just 3 things you're grateful for. That's all you have to do. Just you thinking consciously about things in your life that you are grateful for makes you feel grateful. And gratitude is like the scientific version of happiness, is what Hamza says. But it is, realistically, the scientific version of happiness, because you can't really control happiness. One day you're happy, one day you're sad. Outside environments often affect this. One day you can wake up with a smile on your face, the next day you can wake up with a frown on your face for literally no reason. Gratitude can be forced. Literally forced. And it makes you feel happy. You can force gratitude simply by doing it. Like, do this right now with me. Sit here and think of one thing in your life. Could be anything, literally anything random. I can think, here's one, the wall. I'm grateful for this wall because it keeps me safe. It protects me from the environment, and it'd be a lot worse without it. It also looks nice, and it keeps my room warm and sometimes cool. That already made me feel a lot better than it did before. So every morning and every night, write down 3 things you're grateful for. So I am grateful for, and then 1, 2, 3, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Do this every day, and this will improve your gratitude. It allows you to think more clearly. It allows you to get rid of some of the things that might be bothering you, because one of the better things that you can do later on down the line with gratitude journaling is you can also be grateful for things that you are not grateful for. So if I was to get, really worst example, but if I got hit by a car tomorrow and it broke my legs, I would sit there and go, I am grateful for that person hitting me with the car. Because it taught me that I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware enough. Or I should have been paying more attention. Or I should be more prepared for bad things to happen in my life. Or I could be grateful for what has not happened. I'm grateful that I'm not dead. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I have most of my body apart from my legs. I'm grateful that only my legs got broken. These things will still make you feel better about negative situations. So it allows you to put a positive spin on every situation in life. So do gratitude journaling. Be grateful for the things that make you upset, that you hate. Be grateful for the things that are just random. Be grateful for the things that you really enjoy in life, like family and friends, and your bed and all this other stuff that you can be extremely grateful for. Everything. Be grateful for everything in life, and write down 3 things morning and night that you're grateful for. This will improve your mental health, guaranteed. the next thing is to improve your attention span. Now this is a big one because most people have a poor attention span. Literally everyone I meet can't focus on a conversation. I'm sitting there talking about something for like an hour and they're constantly drifting in and out, thinking about something else. You wonder why most people are cutting you off in the middle of conversations about random stuff. So most people actually have really bad attention span, and thanks to TikTok and YouTube Shorts, it's made it a ton worse. Most people in like Gen Z people, the new generation of people, which I myself am a part of, are very, 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 like, their attention span's very broken because of TikTok mostly. So what destroys your attention span is short form content. That's the biggest destroyer of your attention span. If you are continuously consuming short form content, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then that is as long as you can last with your attention span. It destroys it. Like, before, our attention span used to be extremely high because we really were committed to stuff. Like, if you went right back to as far back as when technology didn't really exist at all, then most people would be focused on their job, focused on what they're doing all day, all night. Okay, when they went to work, they weren't sitting there going, oh, I can't wait till I get home to do this. They were thinking, okay, this is what I've got to do. Work, 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 work. Well, in their breaks, they might think of what they'll do when they'll get home, what they'll do tomorrow, they might talk about stuff, but normally their attention span and what they were focused on was for a longer period of time than like 30 seconds. So the way to improve your attention span and let me just cover why you need to improve it. If you improve your attention span, you're more present, you have a greater chance of having better humility, you are able to hold conversations with people, which is good for social interactions, it improves your mental health because you'll be more focused and mindful, and it is just very important. That's it. There's plenty of other reasons. I'm not going to list them all in this video. There's plenty of other reasons why, and I might cover later on a full guide on just purely how to improve your mental health. The simplest way to improve your mental health is to cut out all short form content things and replace them with long form educational content. Because most people watch like entertainment stuff like TikTok. You get the point. Replace your short form uneducational content with long form educational content, and you'll see a great difference in your attention span and your mental health. The next thing is to go touch some grass. Pretty simple. Now, you'll hear this comment a lot where they say people need to go outside and touch some grass, and it's actually true. If you go outside in nature, just being in nature and looking around and taking in all of the greenery and all of the blue skies, grey skies, just take in nature, look at it, appreciate it, even be grateful for it, because that can help a ton too. You'll be a lot more mentally happier, and you'll be a lot more grateful for literally just everything in life. Every single day, let me just cover a quick example of this, the best example I have. I spent about a month just sitting inside working on my business when I was working on it, and while I was working on this business, didn't really go out for a walk at all. All my exercise was inside, my cardio was inside, everything was inside. Didn't really go out unless I was going somewhere. My mental health was terrible, and I knew it was terrible, and I knew I needed to fix it. So after I realised that it was bad, I went, that's it. I'm going to go for a walk outside every day. I'm going to do longer meditation. I'm going to do more gratitude journaling, more conscious gratitude journaling, not just going the same thing every single day. I'm going to read more books, going to get better attention span. I'm going to do all of these good things and try and break the rest of my addictions that I have, because I'm not perfect. I still have plenty of addictions that need to be fixed. And I tried to do all of this stuff, and within 2 weeks, again, 2 weeks, because that's all it takes, within 2 weeks after doing this, my mental health went right back up to where it was before. Actually, I'd say it's gone even beyond that. It's a lot better than what it was. So, all you need to do is to improve your mental health. Another thing is to just get outside in nature, go for a walk, go just in your backyard, look at the sky, get out in nature, look at it, appreciate it, be grateful for it, and that will improve your mental health 100%. Next thing that can improve your mental health is one of the biggest ones. This is one of the biggest things that can actually destroy your mental health when done incorrectly, and this is eating and working out. People who don't work out and people who eat a very unhealthy, disgusting, fast food, junk food lifestyle, they are typically more depressed, they are typically more unhappy, and typically have less of an attention span, are more lazy, and are less successful than a lot of other people. You see this all the time with people who just eat junk food, and they're like, oh, I'm depressed, I don't know why. Junk food's instant gratification, and not working out just means that you just put on a ton of weight, and that makes you feel even worse. If you are fit and healthy, you feel 100 times better. This is the biggest change. I keep saying the biggest. I would say it's the second biggest thing that I've done so far that has actually improved my mental health, especially the diet. The moment I changed up my diet from just a plain, I had cereal and milk in the morning, had rubbish in the afternoon, had tons of chips and other chocolates and all this other junk throughout my entire day, removed that, replaced it with a healthier lifestyle, I felt a million times better. You will not understand how great this is until you do it. So improve your diet and start working out, get fit. It doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter what health condition you have, it's still possible to a certain degree. And if you don't think that you can work out, I'm about to debunk some of the common excuses people have for why they can't work out or do diet or do any of this stuff. The first one is they sit there and go, oh, well, it's too hard. It's actually not that hard. Working out and, becoming fit, if your idea is to become, completely fit, shredded, ripped, whatever you want to say, it's not going to happen overnight. It'll take years and years and years of you dedicating to it. This is why it's not a thing that you do and then, your mental health and your physical health is just amazing. It's a lifestyle change. Once you start, you continue for your whole life. Same with diet. These people go, oh, it's too hard, no, I'm eating all the good stuff, and blah, blah, blah. You're probably not. Most of you don't even know that almond skins actually are damaging to your bowel because of a certain lectin in there. I know this information because I've done plenty of research on all of diet and all of that, and I've optimized my diet so that I have plenty of energy to operate throughout the day, so that my mental health is better, and so that my physical health is better. Because I've had a ton of health problems, and I don't want any more. Most, I think it's in the US, most cases of obesity are linked directly to junk food. And yet, people are still sitting there consuming junk food. Bro, you need to get off you need to get up and change your life. If you're living a poor lifestyle, you need to change it. So, that's one of the common misbeliefs is, oh, it's too hard. It's not too hard. Working out, it only takes an hour a day. You don't need to work out that long. You don't need to do that many reps and that many sets. It takes 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day max. Diet doesn't take that long. All you got to do is know what you're eating and just optimize it. The next common misperception or false belief is that, oh, I have a health condition. I've got this health problem. I can't do it. Bro, health problems don't really limit you to that. They don't limit you, okay? There's a guy that has no legs, okay? He has no legs. I'm saying okay too much. He has no legs, and he's still working out and he's still fit. There's another guy that has some sort of disability where he's constantly shaking and moving around and he can't keep still at all. He's still trying to work out. There is people who are 400 pounds, 600 pounds, who are still trying to work out to improve their health. Okay? Physical condition and, all these other health problems don't matter at all. I, personally, have a heart condition and have a sugar problem. I still go for a run every single day. I still work out every single day. And I still don't let that inhibit me in any way. That health problems don't limit you. And if they limit you, they still don't limit you completely. Look and find a way. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you want something bad enough, you will find a way to make it happen. And the last common, false belief that I keep hearing is, oh, I don't have enough time. To do, this is what I get hurt, this is what people say all the time with meditation as well, and all these other things that I've mentioned before in this video. They say that they don't have enough time. Meditation takes 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes for a good meditation session. 10 minutes max. You can go beyond that if you want to, but it takes 5 minutes to do meditation. To work out, it takes an hour. Even if you can't work out for an hour, you can at least do it for a half an hour 2 times throughout the day. To do cardio, it doesn't take that long. It takes a 5 minute, you can go for a walk, 5-minute walk. You can jog on the spot. Oh, I don't have the equipment. That's another one. Oh, I don't have the equipment. Bro, you can do push-ups. There's tons of body weight exercises you can do to keep yourself fit. There is literally nothing stopping you but you. For diet, oh, it's too hard to work it out. I don't have enough time to pre-make my meals. No one said you need to pre-make your meals. And if you have 1 hour spare time, you can pre-make them. That's pre-making meals is the best option because it saves you on time. If you're working a job, you could literally go to this is probably a little bit extreme, but if you're working a job in your break time, you could literally go to the restroom and do push-ups on the floor. You can still do it if you really wanted to. I get that I've gone a little bit off topic, gone on a bit of a rant here, but if you want to improve your mental health, you need, not want, need to improve your diet and to improve your physical health. You need to start working out, you need to start doing cardio, and you need to start eating good foods, especially good foods. So that is needed for good mental health. It's a little bit of a small thing, but this is just something that I do that I found works for mental health, and that's to have cold showers in the morning just after I wake up. Now I do this for 2 reasons. 1, to wake up, because I'm still tired, and 2, actually 3 reasons, and 2, because it improves my mental health and my discipline. It allows me to be more disciplined. I don't want to do it, okay? It's delayed gratification. I don't want to do it. I still do it anyway, and afterwards I feel a lot better because I did something I didn't want to do. I destroyed that challenge. It's like an obstacle, and I overcome it. And in turn, that delayed gratification made me feel happier. And like what I said before about delayed gratification makes you feel better. Meditation, gratitude journaling, going out in nature, working out, eating healthy, cold showers, these all are delayed gratification. These all make you feel better, and these all improve your mental health. My camera just died, so the next thing is that you need to improve your discipline, because having a good amount of discipline, or having good level of discipline, means that you can it means that you're able to kind of resist all of these instant gratification temptations. It means that when you feel like doing that bad habit, that instant gratification, that addiction, you won't. You'll be able to sit there and go, no, I'm not doing it. It also, basically, discipline means doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. That's the terminology I use for discipline. The ways that you can improve this discipline to have better mental health is just to do discipline, to be disciplined. By being disciplined, you become more disciplined. Pretty insane. So if you do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, when you don't feel like having a cold shower, you have a cold shower. You become more disciplined. And it goes on and on and on forever. It's an infinite loop that's good for you. Now you see these insanely disciplined people versus the insanely undisciplined people. If you were to tell one of them, the insanely disciplined person, hey, I want you to go run 100 miles. That person would be like, oh, I don't want to. You know what? Yeah, I'll do it. And even if they don't feel like it, they'll still go and do it because they're disciplined. They were told to. They had to do it. They had to do it to save their life. They'd do it. Now you tell the other person, hey, you have to do this to save your life. They're going to be like, oh, well, isn't there another way? Like, yeah, there's no other way. You've got to do it. Ah, can't someone else do it? And that they'll struggle to do it, even though it's literally got like their life at stake. They would struggle to do it. Now, imagine if their life's not at stake and it's just their health. You mean I'm like, my health is pretty fine. I don't really need to go and do that. I don't need to do exercise. I don't need to eat healthy. I don't need to do meditation. I don't need to do any of these. It's just boring. It's too hard. Nah, I don't feel like it. I'll do it when I feel like it. I'll do it after. How these gamers say, because I used to play tons of games. Just 1 more minute. Just 1 more minute. Just 5 more minutes. Oh, just one more game. No. Getting off means getting off now. You are so undisciplined that you can't even get off now. You're told to get off now and you don't feel like it, you should go, oh, I don't feel like it. Well, bad luck, I'm doing it anyway. I'll sit there sometimes, and to increase your discipline, you've got to sit there. Like, if someone said, pick up a pencil, you'd be like, okay, why do I need to pick up a pencil? But the fact that your mind is already saying, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. You go, I don't want to pick up a pencil, there's no point to it. And then go, you know what, yeah, I'm going to do it, because this is what I'm being told to do, this is what I want to do. My mind doesn't want me to do it, I don't want to do it, so I'm going to do it anyway. So, like, if you were to drop something on the ground, or like if you're like, cleaning a dish, like cleaning dishes is a good example. You're cleaning dishes, and there's a little tiny piece of food left on it, and you just try to ignore it and put it off like, it's fine. Someone else it's fine. Don't worry about it. You should sit there and go, I don't want to do it. That's why I'm going to do it. You don't want to do your meditation in the morning? Bad luck. Go do it. But you do it because you don't want to do it. If there is something that is good for you and you don't want to do it, that's why you should be doing it. If you don't want to do something that is good for you, you should be doing it, whether you like it or not. That is how you improve your discipline. Because you can always do things when you feel like it. And if you do that, it'll go from happy day to sad day. You'll be like a leaf in the wind. One day you'll feel happy, one day you'll want to do all these things, and the next day you feel sad and you want to do nothing. You want to sit in your bed and do absolutely nothing. Now, disciplined people don't have to worry about those days. They just go, okay, I feel sad, I'm upset, bad luck, I've got stuff to do, I'm going to do it. In most case scenarios, if your parents didn't go to work or didn't earn an income because they didn't feel like doing it, then how were they going to feed themselves or you? How are you going to feed yourselves if you don't go to a job because you don't feel like it? The same thing applies to everything in life. How are you going to improve your health if you don't feel like it? It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it. You still go and do it anyway because it's needed. Mental health is one of the most important things. No one addresses this enough today. Mental health is the most important thing. If you can improve your mental health, you can live a better life. You have a higher chance of being successful. You have a higher chance of being healthy. You live longer. You'll be happier. And you actually achieve the things you want to achieve. Who wouldn't want any of that? And if you don't want it, the really insane levels of people that just go, oh, I don't need that. Bro, you obviously haven't lived a life with good mental health if you don't want to improve your mental health at all. If you're not doing any of these things and you go, I don't need to have good mental health, you have never lived a life with good mental health. You have no idea what it's like. And if you have, you've forgotten. Because once you experience a good level of mental health, you always want to have that good level of mental health. Who doesn't want to feel happy throughout every single day of their life, forever, doing anything and achieving goals and dreams? I set a goal last year to become fit, healthy, and to fix my mental health. I destroyed that. I set a goal last year to finish my school early. I destroyed that. I was doing double my work in one day. I was doing 2 days worth of work in one day. And it only took me an hour and a half, and I did 2 days worth of work. Compared to before, taking basically all day just to finish one day's worth of work. Because I was focused, I was disciplined, and I went and built up my mental health and my mindsets and all of this other stuff, my self-improvement, to a level where I could achieve anything I wanted. This year I'm focused on creating a business and achieving it. I actually had a business formula that I was already working on that I mentioned earlier. That business formula was expected with a 1% conversion rate. That's the lowest. A really, really, really low 1% conversion rate. It was expected by the end of the year to make $1,000 a day, guaranteed, worst case scenario. And then I looked around, found something, and went, this one's better. This one will take half the time. This one that I'm going to do is going to be a ton better. It's also better on my mental health. And if I choose to go back down the other path of my other business system, I can always do that. I already completed the first step. I had the legal stuff, I had the pages, I had the framework, I had all of the stuff in place within 3 months. I was already ready to launch my business within 3 months. An online business, making $1,000 a day by the end of the year. 3 months. That's discipline. I didn't feel like waking up every single morning, going onto my computer and doing it. I did it because I chose to do it. I went, this is my purpose, this is my goal, this is my dream to make like $1 million a year. This is how I'm going to achieve it, through a business. So build a business. If I wasn't disciplined, I would have gone, I don't feel like it today. I never would have been anywhere near what I've achieved. So improve your discipline. It is greatly important. Ways to improve your discipline is just the one way that I would recommend, or the one thing that I use and can think of right now to improve your discipline, is to do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. When you don't feel like doing something that's actually good for you, meditation, exercise, cold showers, all of this other stuff, and you don't feel like doing it, do it. That's it. Do that every single time, and your discipline will increase. Every single time you go, I don't feel like doing this thing that's very good for me. I don't feel like eating good food. I feel like eating junk food. And you eat junk food. Your discipline becomes worse. Your mental health becomes worse. Your physical health becomes worse. But if you did eat the healthy food, all of it would increase. So why? You have 2 choices. Why not make that choice? And once you become more disciplined, you have more control over that choice. It'll be a lot easier to sit there and go, good choice, bad choice. I choose good choice. So just improve your discipline. It'll greatly help you to improve your mental health overall. So just do that. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. The next thing is a very, very, very big one. And this is one that I would say 90% of people struggle with. And that is emotional control. And you might go, why is emotional control coming into mental health? Because not only do you, when you don't control your emotions, damage other people, but you also damage yourself. And I'll explain why. So emotional control, and also a stoic mindset, or stoicism, is one of the most hardest things that one of the biggest things people struggle with is emotional control, right? And if you follow stoicism and you have a stoic mindset, you'll be able to control your emotions. So here's an example of someone who doesn't control their emotions and how it damages everyone, okay? One person has a bad day, something annoys them. They don't control their emotions. They walk up to their best friend, and their best friend does something that slightly annoys them. They just say something mean. They call them a name, they smash something, they get annoyed with them for no reason, or it's just because they're stressed out, they're angry at something, they have something that is making them feel terrible at the moment. Most of the time it's just stress, and they don't know how to control their emotions, and that hurts their friend. Their friend feels like they're being attacked. They're like, whoa, it feels like someone's just pulled a sword and tried to stab you. They've just gone, whoa, what's going on? So in turn, 2 things happen, or one of 2 things happen. Either that friend will run away from this, annoyed, aggressive, angry attacker, is how they see it, in their mind, how they see it. They will either run away and they'll, not say anything and they'll cower away, which in the long term leads to them becoming more conformed to putting up with that kind of stuff. Or two, they attack back. And then you get attacked. Go, whoa, 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 what's going on? And then you attack back. Because you're like, why'd you do that? Makes you annoyed. And before you know, both of you are in an argument. You're in an argument, maybe it's a fight. Something starts. It's either a physical or it's a mental, it's a verbal fight that starts. One team, both teams know, okay, they know, well, I probably shouldn't have said what I said, but you're not backing down and I'm not backing down either. And they both go head to head to head to head to head. If this first person controlled their emotions and the second person controlled their emotions, some person could literally walk up to them, say the most offensive thing to them, make them as annoyed as possible, and the other person would sit there and go, I think that what you just said made me very annoyed. And I would appreciate if you would apologise or you would not say that again. They would have a conversation that is kind and it is mature. They won't sit there and start an argument over cotton or over, food or over just rubbish. They will sit there and they will speak calmly and nicely. If everyone was nicely, you imagine this, some person walks up to you, bumps into you, you end up dropping your phone and it cracks your screen. You sit there and go, oh, excuse me, you've run into me and I've dropped my phone. They'd sit there and go, oh, I'm very sorry about that, I apologise. And, that's it. They apologise. But normally, the person's like, oi, what, why'd you run into me? You knocked my phone. Either starts an argument, this person says something rude, the other guy will turn around and be like, oh yeah, you want to start something, blah, blah. You can see how it turns into a fight, or it turns into an argument, and it just spirals out of control. Control your emotions, and you won't hurt your friends, and your friends won't hurt you back. This is what destroys most friendships, and probably most relationships as well, is that people don't control their emotions. So having a stoic mindset, which I haven't talked about yet, but I will talk about in the future. Having a stoic mindset allows you to control your emotions. And if you can control your emotions, not only are you able to look around in negative situations for the positives, you're able to, be happy in happy situations and happy in sad situations because you have full control. But you're also not going to start big arguments, you're not going to agitate people, and here's the thing, if the other person doesn't control their emotions and you do, and they say something rude, you reacting nicely to them actually makes them feel bad for, attacking you or having a go at you. It's been proven with psychology and all of these other studies, where if someone acts nicely, so if someone walks up to you and calls you some swear word, and you go, oh, I'm sorry, I apologise for whatever I've done that's offended you, they immediately feel bad for doing it and they don't want to be rude to you anymore. So being kind, just be kind in general. Be kind and control your emotions. It'll help your mental health because not only will you feel better, because of course arguing and fighting and getting angry at everyone never feels good. It's super stressful. And it also, when it comes to families and stuff, is terrible not being able to control your emotions. You imagine not being able to control your emotions with children. The children does something that annoys you, where you get stressed out for some reason, and you have a go at your kid for no reason at all. You see this all the time. The kid says something, the dad's having a bad day, or the mum's having the bad day, smack, smack, smack. Now the kid's like, okay, I don't know why I got smacked, but I want to be better. And it just causes mental issues by doing that kind of stuff. Of course, being disciplinary to your children is important. The kids should know about discipline and should be able to be respectful. But you've got to be able to control your own emotions, because when you get stressed out, you don't want to let any of that anger out, because trust me, it doesn't get rid of the stress. All it does is it creates more stress. Being stressed out and not controlling your emotions and trying to let it out never lets it out, it just adds more. Simply just be kind, Go about your day, sit down, relax. Maybe, of course, like relax, not sit down, eat junk food and watch Netflix, because that's not relaxing. Maybe do like a meditation. Maybe go for a walk, appreciate nature. Maybe just have a kind discussion with someone. Do something, okay? But control your emotions and be kind to everyone that you can. There is no reason to be nasty. We sit there and go, oh, we wish it was a perfect world. I've heard this so many times. I wish it was a perfect world. If only we could, let's make peace in the world. No one wants to be peaceful. We wish we had one world where everyone was kind to each other. Everyone wants a world where everyone's kind to each other, but no one wants to be kind to each other. These people who say, I want to be kind to each other, they aren't the ones that, when they get offended, they sit there and like, oh, that made me slightly offended, I'd appreciate it if you didn't do that again. They're the persons that have a full-on argument and try and attack this person. You can't create peace if you're not peaceful. You need to control your emotions, become peaceful, and then you need to spread that. Because by being positive, being kind, other people will eventually look up to you and go, wow, I wish I was more kind like that. Look at how amazing this person is. And they'll be more kind to you, but that then spreads to other people, because then that person will also be more kind to their friends, and their friends will be more kind to their friends. And the only way to make the perfect, kind world is for one person to be kind to another, and that person to copy. If everyone was controlling their emotions, and everyone was trying to be kind, the world would be peaceful. That's it. It also allows you to have kind and reasonable, mature discussions with people about topics that you disagree with without them turning into arguments. You can see how that would be useful in a relationship or like with family. So control your emotions, learn about a stoic mindset, get a stoic mindset, be stoic. This will greatly help your mental health and all of the people around you. That'll increase their mental health as well. You'll be one of the nicest people with all of your friends. It's great. Being kind to someone feels good, and in turn makes them feel good as well. Why not? You can be kind and feel good, and then by you being kind, you make them feel good. You both feel good. It's a win-win. So what I say is to control your emotions, be kind, and to practice stoicism. Thing is to have a student mindset, which means you are continuously learning. That means that your education doesn't end when you leave school, university, or college. You're learning forever. You are forever a student. By doing this, you are continuously taking in new information, creating new beliefs and new ideas, and this actually does improve your mental health because it allows you to learn more things. Imagine if someone told you tomorrow that this is all that exists in the world, and you only believe that forever. And then you found out that more exist. After you find out more exists, you'll be like, oh wow, this is cool, let me go explore these. And they go, oh, this one over here makes you feel good. This one makes you feel good. I can teach you stuff about mental health, right? I can teach you all the stuff I know about mental health, but I don't know everything about mental health. You need to go out there with a student mindset, and you need to learn about more things to do with mental health. Just try them out. The thing is, you want to learn, you want to test, and then you want to create a new idea or belief. That's what you do. You take a bunch of data and a bunch of information from books and videos and long-form educational content. You test it all out, you see what works, and then you take what works, and that's a new belief. These are some good things. These are some bad things. Every situation, every argument, every debate, every video, every book, every person who exists has something good about them and something bad about them. My bad things is that I've got plenty of addictions. There's probably a ton more things, but the good things are I know a lot of information on self-improvement that I can teach people. This is one of the good things, and I'm willing to teach you that. So, get a student mindset. It's very simple. All you got to do is just keep learning. Your education doesn't end. Go out there and learn more things. You'll be so amazed at all the amazing content you can find. Imagine when you find out something incredible, something that just blows your mind. You feel great. There's plenty of things out there that do that. And there's plenty of things that can be helpful in your life if you research. Whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, go out there and watch a ton of content, consume about a ton of long-form educational content in line with your goals or dreams, and take it all in and learn it and then test it and work out what works and what doesn't. And you'll be able to excel really fast in life. So this is for mental health, and this is just for life in general. Thing is to set goals, keep in mind, set goals, set dreams, and to work out what your purpose is. So goals are incredible. When you set a goal and achieve it, you get a release of dopamine, and it's a long form thing. As long as you don't do dumb stuff like what I see some people doing, where they're like, put a toilet roll in the toilet, flush the toilet. These are some goals that they set because they want to get that dopamine as quick as possible. It's still instant gratification. You need to set 1 to 3 yearly goals that you want to achieve by the end of this year. Then you want to pick one of them, 2 of them, or 3 of them, and look at all the things that you can do right now that can get you to that goal. What's the first step in getting to that goal? Is it building a business? First step is to learn about business. Then it could be to create your own business. Then it could be to automate your own business. There's steps to take to achieve that goal. Each of those steps makes you feel a little bit good, gives you a little bit of dopamine, makes you feel a little bit better. And when you finally achieve that goal, you'll feel incredible that you achieved it. It also gives you something that can reignite that spark, that drive that lots of people forget. It allows you to have that fire within you to achieve your goals and your dreams. So find something you're interested in. And normally what that thing is that you set your goals about is your purpose. Your purpose isn't something that you will enjoy doing every single day or something that's amazing. It's normally not. What it is your current thing that you are constantly thinking about, or current thing that, like the next chapter of your life. So there's a core purpose, and there is a current purpose. Current purpose is the next chapter in your life. Core purpose is the main thing that you basically were destined to do. This is what Hamza explains in another one of his videos. Amazing guy, this guy's amazing for self-improvement. But the way that you find your purpose is just sit still with no instant gratification, because I'm guessing that after I teach you this, I would recommend you come back and watch this video a few more times. You can even do this. You can not like it, and you can come back when this video has helped you, and you can like that. Because this is what Hamza did with his mental health guide that I watched, and that's what I've done as well. So don't like this video. Keep it maybe saved somehow, but don't like it, and when you go and implement all of this and it helps you, come back and like this video. Anyway, to get your purpose, sit down with no instant gratification at all, no distractions, and just sit there and look at a wall and wait, maybe 10 minutes to a half an hour to an hour, however long it takes, until a thought pops into your head that just sits there and makes you go, I would like to try that. I'm interested in this. For me personally, this year, I sat there and went, I want to make money. I want to make money, I want to be able to provide for my family with some income, I want to be able to be set for life, I want to help people out while making money, I want to do all of these things, and I went, business, that's it. So I found my purpose. I sat down and went, money, that sounds like something that I would really be happy and really want to achieve this year. It can be anything. It can even be something that you don't want to do, but continuously pops up over and over and over and over and over in your mind. As long as it's not something that's really bad or really negative, then that is your current purpose. Take that purpose, work out how you can achieve this purpose, set that as your current goal, make 2 more goals if you want to, or 1 more goal, and then create a pathway, basically, to this, a 3-step process or a 4-step process with many little processes whatever you want to do, that's your goal. You will achieve that by the end of this year, or the end of next year, or the end of 3 years, whatever it is, you achieve this goal eventually, this purpose eventually. You set goals, which will be the steps along the way to get there. So set one goal for this year. Mine is to make money. My goal this year would be possibly to start a business. Next year, I'm still going to have the same purpose of money. My goal will be to get that business up to making $10 million. The next year after that, my goal will be to get the business automated and up to $100 million. There we go. Once I get to 100 million, my purpose is complete. Done. That's an example of a purpose and a goal. Set goals and try to achieve them. Go and go and go, and this should be all you're focused on. If you have a job, I understand that if you have a job, this is a little bit hard. If you have a job, you can still achieve most of these goals, but if your goal is money and you have a job, don't work a job. I've put posts on my Facebook page that explain this a little bit better, and I will be making a video shortly on how you can make money, but a job is not worth it. If that's your current purpose, is money, then don't work a job. What you want to do is you want to continue working, because it would make no sense just to quit it now. You would want to start a small local business, build up that business to a level where it's helping people. It can be whatever it is, but build up that business to a level where it's helping people and you're making a good amount of money. Once it's making enough that you can provide for yourself and your family or whoever you got to provide for, quit that job and live off of the business. Build this business up with all of your time, because now you've got plenty of free time. Build it up to making a ton of profit. Once it's running very well and effectively, take it online and do the exact same thing, then automate, and there you go. You've literally just gone from working a job to having a full-on major business that can make you anywhere from $1 million to $1 billion. So if that's your current goal, don't quit your job because you want to start a business. There's plenty of better ways to do it, but do your research. Achieve your goals, achieve your purpose, and keep striving. Set 1 to 3 goals for this year and strive to achieve them. Every single week there should be a new thing that you are accomplishing to get to that goal. So that's purposes, goals, and dreams. The thing is that if you have any toxic people or negative people in your life, what you need to do is you need to get rid of them. So this is friends who are completely hooked on instant gratification. So if you have friends who are partying, doing drugs, and all of that rubbish, get rid of them. They are not good social influences. You are the product of the 7 people you spend the most time with, and this also counts for people that you view online. So you can view people online, that will also count towards those 7 people. So if you have very negative friends who are just dragging you down, get rid of them. Okay, I know it sounds bad, doesn't matter how long you've had these friends for, get rid of them. You can try and help them, but in most cases these friends will not listen. Get rid of them. When they see a success, eventually they'll probably go down the same path and you might be able to become friends with them later, but there is plenty of people in the world who can be good friends. Now, in other terms, with like family and stuff, family is a little bit difficult because you can't just get rid of your family. So, with family, I would say try and help them as much as possible, and just don't let them influence you if they're negative family. Address that they're negative, and don't let them influence you in any way. Take all of your influence from people who are online, from good friends, and from other sources that are positive, instead of your negative, toxic family. Toxic people are horrible. If you think that you're in a toxic, like relationship, or if you have toxic friends who are just abusive, do your research, because negative, toxic, and abusive people are really hard to spot. Narcissists, sociopaths, run into many in the past, very hard to spot. So do your research, because it's worth spotting for them. But get rid of toxic people as best as you can. And when it comes to family, don't let these toxic people influence you. Don't let them drag you down. Don't listen to all of their lies saying, it's fine to eat like 3 pieces of cake per day. It's fine to have a block of chocolate. It's fine to have alcohol every week. It's fine to do drugs once every month. Don't listen to them. You're on self-improvement. You're trying to fix your mental health. Keep going and fix that mental health, because you'll easily change it within 2 weeks of doing so, and within a year you can be at the best point you've ever been in your entire life. One final little thing that I want to add before I finish this video is that if you compliment strangers as you were just walking around, just, hey, how you going? No, nice shirt, you're looking good today, keep up the good work, or stuff like this. Just give these strangers good compliments. It'll make them feel better, and it'll make you feel better. It's basically just spreading a little bit of kindness with strangers. Now, lots of people are antisocial, and if you struggle with like social anxiety, I want to just quickly cover this. If you struggle with social anxiety, don't put these people on a pedestal. They are not any better than you are. Everyone has problems. Everyone has good things and bad things that they have done in their life and that they do in their life. Only thing is, most people cover it up better than you. That's a quote that's been completely botched up by me from David Goggins. So don't put these people on a pedestal. They're not any better than you. They're just better at hiding their problems than you are. And just keep talking to people. The more you talk to people, the less your social anxiety happens. So not only now being kind to strangers and improving their mental health and your mental health, but you're also destroying your social anxiety. Win-win. So there goes depression, there goes anxiety, there goes bad addictions, and there comes a ton of good habits. This is great. This will improve your mental health, and I hope that this guide has helped someone. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing. And what I would like to add before I wrap this thing up is that in the description there'll be my Discord, there'll be my Facebook page, and there'll be a link to Hamza's videos, Hamza's channel, and also the Medito app for meditation. I hope that someone found this video useful, and keep up the good work, and I really hope to see you on your self-improvement journey.